Well, hello there, everyone. Sorry for the late start. I use NVIDIA Broadcast for noise cancellation on my mic, and it was updating right before the stream. I wasn't aware that it updated, so good times. Today, though, we're going to work on the jungle. This is a section of the jungle I haven't done a whole lot with yet, so I'd like to get some basic features done here and some optimization. Hello there. How's everyone doing today? Need to find out where I last... Oh, there it is. Okay, so the pathway stops over here. I had started putting a path here a while back, but I've been pretty busy with bug fixes, optimization, that kind of thing before the tech demo. Boom, we have textures. I almost woke up too late too, but luckily I am here and I have caffeine. Hello there! How are both of you today? Hopefully pretty well. 3 days off in a row, that's glorious. Understandable. My kids are in Galveston right now, but they'll be back pretty soon. A little bit later today. So it's been silent for a couple of days. Oh yes, it definitely needs more green. Yeah, the ground foliage, I need to bump that up. Luckily that setup makes it really simple to do, so won't be a big deal. But I also need to finish putting this path through here. The redwoods is right over there, so I want to have a path that leads there. And if I can find a better texture on the stream today, we're going to replace the texture of the path because I'm just not a huge fan of it. Here we go. I know I'm scrolling right past it. There we are. Ooh. Yeah, for me it's way too much caffeine, just in general. I drink, like, definitely too much every day, but you know, at a certain point, we have to accept that we'll die one day. Might as well die heavily caffeinated. Kids, don't listen to me. I'm a bad influence. Good morning. Path's a little shaky, but you know what? That's probably more realistic, so I'll take it. Oh, look at that. It's missing some landscape texture. Oh, did I use the wrong one? No? Odd. It looks so different from up there compared to the ground around it. It might be... Sorry, my allergies are killing me today. It might be because another material is mixed with it. Oh yes, I think my kids are even more creative than me. If only I could have their powers. I'm just in the background. They're the ones designing the entire Sorry. They're the ones designing the entire map. This looks like a pretty steep mountain here, so... Ooh, definitely too dense with... Oh wait, maybe I was just... No, it's too dense. So we'll cut that down in a minute, but... Ah yes, we'll have a good drive. Hopefully not too busy out there. Yes, this area will be in the tech demo. So I need to erase some of that. I guess you have a point. Just giving it an excuse, I guess, to brag about my kids. I think... Trying to decide what the best way around this would be. I think we'll go this way. Definitely gonna have to clear out some of these trees. It looks like this ended up in a in-between spot when I was trying to figure out how dense I wanted the foliage. Hello, hello! Thank you for dropping in. Oh, look at that. I made like a little crossover spot there and I didn't mean to. We're gonna keep it. It's kind of hard to see through the trees sometimes, so... You know, ideally I would have painted these paths before the forest, but the map is just so huge. I just wanted to get some foliage out there before I actually had time to go across everything and make it look pretty. Ah, excellent. There is already a path right there. That's what I thought, so I can have them meet up. Boom, just like that. Oh yes, that would be a good spot for a waterfall, you're right. I might have to add that soon. I'm still learning a bit more about the tool that we have for waterfalls because I could just do a really simple one, but I want really nice looking waterfalls. So I'm trying to make use of the tool we have to do it. It's just that the documentation is not the best. So it's been a little bit of a struggle to learn it. I think I have another path somewhere over yonder. Yes. So for this one, we're going to use this. I actually thought I had a bridge over here. Actually, it's probably not loaded right now. And I don't feel like loading another part of the map, because you just never know when it's going to be a little bit too much. Boom. Just like that. Oh, it's going pretty well. Just... there have been a bunch of storms in Texas these past couple of weeks. And I think it's bringing in a bunch of stuff I'm allergic to, so that's been fun. Now let's follow this path back, because I also want one heading towards the meadows here. But I should probably save before I get too far, because you never know. Unreal is very crash prone in the editor, so... Hello there! Glad to have everyone here. I was about to say, what are those trees down there that are so much brighter than the others? They're the mangroves. The most entertainment you'll see all day. The saving screen. So we're gonna send it off that direction. And we're gonna kind of loop around here just because we can. Welcome to how I make decisions for level design. If you take it too seriously, you'll just be paralyzed all the time, not really making a decision. One more heading off this direction. I think I went over a mountain. I did. Let's take that back. We will go this way. Now I lost the path. There we go. Still kind of went over a little bit of mountain there, but I'll just smooth it out some. It's kind of hard to see the grading of the ground when you're up here. He is a nice man, I've heard it. From a reliable source. Boom. I think I'll put a little hostile camp or something over there. And let me see. I don't know if the path leads back over here, but I need it to, because that is one of the ways to the desert. Just a nice man, meaning like you have no other mood, like you're never mean. I think people would understand if you're mean every now and then. I wouldn't blame you. There's a certain amount of acceptable rudeness. We'll smooth out some of the areas where where I went over some steep areas before we actually make some adjustments to the jungle. I know that when you're out in the jungle, it can be a little disorienting sometimes because I try to make it realistically dense, which means it's also a little hard sometimes to tell where you're going. So I want to have some paths, things like that, to reference while you walk around. You'll probably still get lost, but it'll make it a little bit better. And as I add more mountains, things like that, it'll also get a little bit easier to navigate. Half my time developing the map, I'm just watching the saving screen or loading. If I could just have like a quantum computer to work on the game, you know, we might be done in like a couple months with the map. Actually, from what I understand, if I were to realistically use a quantum computer, it would not be great for this. It really is, though. You just gotta make sure when you click save that you're staring at something nice, because if you modified the landscape, you'll be staring at it for a while. So over here, it was a little bit too rough in one spot. Yep, look at that. Unacceptable. How can you be expected to walk over this? But yeah, that path material is not doing it for me, so as soon as I find a better one, we're updating it. Should be mostly good now. Let me see about this spot. Maybe a little bit too steep right here. Just ignore the halfway floating tree. It's completely normal. Definitely gonna have to thin out parts of the jungle over here though. So let's save this since we did some landscape changes. And then we'll clear out some of these trees that are blocking the path now. Just yesterday, I made some really big banyan trees to put on the map. They're not done yet, but they're coming along pretty good, and I think it'll be a good place for smaller dinos to hide, where bigger ones can't get to them very easily. I don't know exactly what day, but I know it's coming very soon. Each time one of them comes out, we all write what we've done that month, so that the Islander can go over it and add, make sure he puts details about everything we've been doing recently in the video. And I know that we need to write the post today or tomorrow, probably. So it shouldn't be long. Just not certain about the exact date. Okay. That's where it starts. But yes, there is another video coming. Just in case the mangroves are in the way. Excellent. I know it would be faster if I just floated above everything and did this, but I like to actually look at the path while I'm clearing it out, because I like some trees and plants to make it onto the path, and it just... I have a lot more control if I'm right here looking at it when I clear these out. But I do need to try again, since I'm making a banyan tree. The one I'm making is a Ficus microcarpa, which I actually have one growing outside right now, and it has enough bark that I should be able to scan it. So if I can scan it, then that would be perfect. I guess the only question is it's a little on the smaller side still, and doing scans with a phone camera isn't really ideal. So I definitely need to look into getting a better camera at some point soon. But I've been making it work. Guess we'll go this way first. Oh yes, I agree. That is going to be what I do right after I finish clearing out this path. Did it just suddenly end right here? Or did I just miss a section? Oh yeah, it looks like I... Oh yes, I remember this spot. I thought it was connected, but I guess not. Yeah, I like to have really dense ground foliage in the jungle, so definitely about to add that. Go back this way. Shouldn't be too rough, I think. Because I also don't want the ground to be perfect just because it's a path. Still needs to look like a jungle. And jungles are everything but perfect. That though, that will not do. Actually, I'll smooth it out after I remove the foliage. At least from right here. Because I bet there are going to be more areas along this path that need to be smoothed out. Yeah, I don't want it to look like we have like an Echoes of Extinction street paver coming through and making the paths beautiful. They need to be rough in some spots, but this is a little bit too rough. I'll definitely need to put like a little mountain range or something right here, because the transition directly between the redwoods and the jungle right here just doesn't do it for me, so I'll either need to put some grassland area here or some mountains to kind of cover up the transition. Okay, now let's smooth out some spots. But yeah, definitely about to add more ground plants in general. And we'll take a look at the variety of them out here. In the spot we're in right now, this uses the same density as the other parts of the jungle, but it switches ground materials in a moment, and that's when it'll be less dense. Sorry if I'm a little slow today, I'm just had a lot of trouble waking up today. Probably just stayed up too late. I regularly work on this game until like 3 in the morning. Don't be me. Actually do. Join us. Be my map minion. We should probably also, if we have time today, take a look at the temple that Islander made a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago. Just to check for optimization and any issues. He's really good at designing things, but he knows less about the actual technical details, which is fine with me because it still helps. We'll come back to the spot for these trees. Just smooth out a little bit of this. So what are everyone's plans today? Ooh, I also just remembered they're almost ready, but I have some dawn redwoods to add to the map, since they were very common during prehistoric times. So I'm going to make a little clearing right here. Just a small one. Might have actually taken that path a little too far over that direction. We'll make a tiny clearing right here. Keep the big fig tree. Actually, before I adjust where that is, I'm going to smooth this out some. You know what I think I should do? And Islander knows a lot more than I do about this, so I'm going to have to ask him how we could do it, but I'm not as experienced in running a Discord channel, and I'm not proposing starting a new one, but setting up kind of a channel just for people to drop their ideas for plants and things like that from prehistoric times that they'd like to see in the game. And I won't be able to do all of them, but I'd like to make sure we have a lot of unique things that other games don't have. Thank you. And it runs well, too. I've actually been really surprised at how low we've been able to go on specs for people who can play the game. We have a QA team that does a lot of testing for us, and that includes performance testing. And it has surprised me a few times at how low they've been able to run the game. Like, I spend a lot of time on optimization, but I wasn't expecting miracles or anything, but it's definitely running really well. Yeah, I think if we just added like an extra channel or something, that would work. Because I'm always making new stuff or replacing plants or trees that I'm not a huge fan of. And I'd like to add some stuff that's relevant to the time period. Really unique things. Sometimes I won't be able to, like if there's nothing I can use that looks like the leaves they have or something like that. Because if there are no pictures, then there are no pictures. Not much we can do about that. I'll have to fix this spot on the ground where it's wet. This is coming from the water nearby. It's something annoying about fluid flux that I haven't been able to get around. Yeah, I wouldn't always be able to respond in there because I spend a lot of time working, but I would read it. Do need to clear out some of this ground foliage. I want to put kind of like a little tent here, like somebody's been camping. I really wish I could find a fig tree. Not necessarily like these, but just any kind of fig tree in Texas so I could go scan it. Other than the one in my backyard, which is like 10 inches tall. I believe they actually do have classes for that in school. I never took any, but I'm pretty sure they do. Clear out a little bit of the foliage here. Pretty sure I brought a tent model in not that long ago. Could fit what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I never really planned on doing this as a job, so I guess even if there was a class that I saw, I wouldn't have taken it probably. I don't like when these are like in the canopy of another tree. It's just weird. That one manually moved single tree. We're not going to set up this whole little scene yet, but I do want to at least drop the tent here so I don't forget about it. Probably do a little bit of it too, though. Pretty sure. Maybe one of these would do. We also have a very talented modeler that has made some structures for us, but I used it not too far from here. One of the ones he made for me, so I don't want to use the same one right here. You like my creative names for the huts? Hut 1, Hut 2. That one's a possibility. Just need to modify the materials. Those are not doing it for me. Ooh, that one might be a little more what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think one of these. This or Hut 4. I think we're going to go with Hut 3. But let's change the materials. Because it's not the vibe. I'll have to do something about that wet ground there soon. But for now, we're going to pretend it's not there. I'm pretty sure I modified one of these to have dinosaur skin on it, so Is it under more huts? No. Couldn't remember what I put in there. Could it be these? I mean, that would do something, but it doesn't really look right. Let's see. I really thought I downloaded something here. Some scales or something like that. But I guess not. See what this looks like for the wood. I do think that looks a little better. Do I have any fabric? Better fabric? We might need to grab some. I don't see any. I mean, this fabric's okay, but I guess for the moment we'll keep it. But the fur needs to go. Actually, we'll keep that open. But I'm pretty sure I have some fabric here somewhere. Or, not fabric. Scales. But where did I put them? Perhaps we could use some dino skin. No, actually these wouldn't work for it. So let's see if we can get a hold of some scales real quick. Maybe I put it here? I don't know, I guess not. Okay, let's see if we can download some. Hello! That was actually a lot faster than I expected. Somebody's a fast driver. Skin. Just skin. Bloody cow skin. Ah yes, the Hyundai Kona. Top of the line speed. Oh, that's the one I already looked at. Yeah, I guess we'll stick with the fur for now. I really thought I had a better material for that, but I guess not. I'll just have to make one later. Yeah, I used to work in a tire shop, and I have seen a lot of those with issues, the tracks. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I think it was... Yeah, there it is. No. There we go. I wanted kind of a bedroll. Not that specific one. I haven't heard that song in a while. What is this? Just wanted to put kind of a little camp here. Gross. A masked material. Unacceptable. I will not use it. Okay, I guess we'll put this little bed thing here. Should have a little ambient light from a fire in a minute. This is actually a pretty big tent. Actually, no, we'll put this right here in the middle. With a little bedroll. These are kind of just temporary props till I can come back and make it look really nice. Just a few things here and there. Put a little bowl. Big baddie. I'm gonna go see it, because I follow you. I've always been a follower. Can't help it. Ooh, animation. We'll have this little... No, actually. We'll remove the bowl for now. Have something else I'm going to put there later. Just have to import it. But we'll put a little fire out here. Yeah, I figured you were probably pretty busy with that, because that looks like it's going to be a pretty big project. You know what, maybe this tent needs to be a little smaller. I feel it is just too large. See, that feels a bit more realistically scaled to me. Oh yes, I know the feeling. I'm often working on multiple things at the same time. Like, I'll be working on the game, and then I'll also be making trees to sell on my personal fab page or for the other company that I work for. Although for them I have quite a bit to do. I have converting a bunch of their foliage to full geometry, and then make this look natural-ish. I think it might be better if I hang it over here. If it doesn't go on the ground. It does not, I think. But yeah, I'm often doing something on my second monitor. For the other company or for my own fab page. Oh. Yeah, that's good enough. So now let's put a little fire here. I do need to make sure though, a lot of these... Yeah, it's... As long as it's not overdrawing, let's see. Kind of is, but only there. Let's bump up the triangle count on this a little bit. I try not to have much overdrawing. Just have to make sure it's all good first. Don't want it to be all deformed. Looks a little odd that way. So what we'll do is we'll make it higher than we need and then simplify it. By about half. Okay. So now, hopefully, it'll overdraw a tiny bit less. It'll be not a huge effect, but it did help. And same with this. Actually, I might have already done that. But basically, for everything to decimate as cleanly as it should with nanite, it needs to have smooth normals and a pretty large amount of triangles. I'm just curious if it'll help with this one at all, because it's rolled up and that's part of the problem here. Let's try like that. It does help. Excellent. So as you can see, sitting on this side now, nothing renders on the other side. Boom. I'll explain that view. That is the nanite overdraw view, which you're always going to get some with plants. But you're trying to avoid the bright colors. And purple is good, basically. Where it's bright, it's overdrawing something inside of it, meaning drawing more than you're seeing. So for nanite to be effective, everything needs to be a high enough triangle count that it's able to cull parts of itself when you're not looking at it. So this view shows you if that's happening. So it's showing me that nothing is really being drawn behind this. And with this, a little bit of the middle of the mesh is being drawn, but it's less now. That's the thing that full geometry foliage helps with too, as you see. Masked foliage is much worse on overdraw than this is. So that is the purpose of the high triangle counts. With nanite, specifically. That actually might be a little too bumpy now. See if we can clean it up a little. That will work. But yes, that is the purpose of using the really high triangle count stuff with nanite. How does this fire look? Not bad, not bad. We could use this. The underground fire. And that gives it just enough ambient light instead of the tent. That's what I was hoping for. Let's make sure this isn't going to infinitely render out into the world. And that it's using Niagara. Very pleasing. Quite odd as a child actor. I'll have to take a look at that. Pulsing firelight. Look at that. It is set to render infinitely. That is why you have to check all the assets you use. And we don't need tick. So now that makes it to where eventually at a certain distance the light stops rendering. Lights can be pretty expensive, so good idea. I can't batch that into a packed level actor, but I can batch these. So we'll do that. Yeah, basically when you're optimizing with nanite, it's pretty much the opposite of what you would have done with LODs, which throws off a lot of people, understandably. Don't need that. Good. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to come back and make this a little better later on, but I think we will throw a few trees right here because I didn't end up using this space. This is, yeah, that's what I thought. Crazy dense. It's about to paint a bunch of them at once. Let's use... I am partial to the fig trees. Oh my god. Maybe not all that way out into the path. Something a little smaller. But I want these gone. No leech vines. I have since removed those. Just haven't been over here recently. Let's use some little umbrella trees. Just a couple. Some smaller plants. We can put those back by doing this. Could even leave this side kind of blocked in. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to come back and add more things to that later, but just wanted a basic camp. Let's continue what we were doing. Already cleared that out. Already went up there. There we go. That needs to be fixed. And just like that. This is why everyone should give environment design a try. You can just pretend you're God for a little while. Don't want a tree there? Tell it to leave. With force. I don't know why my real-life giant sequoia hates the rain so much, but it's really displeased with the amount of rain we've had the past few days. The coast redwood and the dawn redwoods, on the other hand, are going absolutely crazy. Oh yes. Landscape work is fun. Let's see, I think I accidentally left that disconnected there. So let's clear a little path. Where does the other one pop up? Is that it right over there? Oh no, it's right there. Look at that, just barely missed it. This is fine. Yeah, I love making landscapes though. I'm working on another one for, oh, I didn't mean to use that brush. That's fine. I'm working on another one because I have a couple of asset packs I'm about to release. One for mangroves and another one for giant sequoias. And yet another for coast redwoods. So, I'm making some environments to go along with them. Just some little ones. Why is it like completely clear of foliage right there? I don't know, bro. But now we're almost done. And there's probably foliage there, but I'll worry about that later on when I load that part of the map. Oh, where is it? So I was planning to put another little camp over here, so we might throw that together real quick too. Just the start of one. Because the main goal right now is to get things ready for the tech demo, which means a little less focus on new stuff and more of a focus on fixing bugs and adding usability things like paths. Performance work and so on. In some spots it's a little thin on the path painting, so need to clean that up some. That might be where I stopped it. Yes. So now we'll make a little clearing right here. Just a small one. Ah, excellent. How are you? I still need to play that game. I keep saying I'm going to, and I haven't. I still need to start Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I bought that like a month or two ago, whenever it came out. Oh yes, we should. I need to actually buy the game. Oh, that sucks. I'm really surprised to hear that too. I always thought they were a really good studio. I didn't back them back then, but I would have. I think I just didn't know a whole lot about the game until it came out. My name on Steam is actually the same as Discord. Actually, I think I have my Steam linked to my Discord, so if you look at my Discord, you'll find my Steam name if anyone wants to add me there. I probably should take a break and play games every now and then. A lot of times I'm just so consumed with what I'm working on that I just go a long time without making any games. Playing any games. Oh yeah, I know you were asking her, but I figured I would offer. Yes it is. It says my real name on there. I have a pretty generic name, so... Good God, 46 feet long and 15 tons. That's insane. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do detail smooth. Yes, that is my picture. Ah, the wonders of AI. That's what I use it for. Or repetitive small tasks I don't feel like doing. That is a good question. I don't think it'll be too long, though. Although I think that is the one that he's just working on during the stream. Actually, let's remove some of this foliage. So annoying when it does that. As far as I know, yes. But I usually am not completely up to date on the characters. There's so much going on with the map that a lot of times what I do know is related to lore, things like that, so that I can design the map based on the lore. Yes, it is a multiplayer game. You know what game I haven't played in a while? But I loved it? Phasmophobia. Yep, we have a mix of human and AI. Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And yes, I love Phasmophobia. It's been forever. I've been thinking about playing it again recently. I used to play it with uh, one of my brothers all the time. Sometimes one of my other brothers would join us as well, but I played that game all the time. And then after a while, I don't remember why it happened, but we lost our money, and I had so much money back then that I didn't want to lose all that, so I just modded some money in. Because I had so much, and then it was all gone. You should definitely try it, it's fun. Especially if you have somebody to play it with, because it's just a very good multiplayer game. And it's hilarious when you bring new people who don't do well with anything jumpy. Because at first you'll probably jump a few times, might even still get you a little later on. I wouldn't call it scary, just jumpy sometimes. Yes, I do the same. I just harass the ghost. and often die because of it, but we do what we must. Probably just need to flatten this. I was trying to avoid it because it always requires a bit of reshaping around the area. That's right, you don't call out Becky. I think I'll have to look again. I think I was looking at that game the other day. In fact, give me just a second. I'm pretty sure it's the one I was talking about the other day with someone. Oh no, never mind. I was looking at a different game. I don't think I know much about that one then. It's not the one I thought it was. Little too steep right here. Gonna turn that tint though. Yeah, I loved when they added the nightmare mode on Phasmophobia because I die almost every time, and it got to where I was never dying before that. So I wanted the difficulty. I don't know if Islander's watching right now, but if you are, you should make an extra channel so that people can put their ideas and requests for some plants, things like that, from the time period, so I can find some really unique stuff to make. We might be the first game that has dawn redwoods, though, very soon. Because I haven't seen them in another game. And obviously, if I haven't seen it, it doesn't exist. That is how that works. Need to fix that flickering in the side of this tent. It's lumen tripping. Curious, I wonder if see if I can do something real quick. For one, we're going to cut this down a little bit more. It's the bad thing about this. That's not even a bad thing, really. This particular tent is so detailed that these strands here can be a little bit high on the triangle count, so I just do this. It's no big deal. Better to be high than low. Ooh, that needs to be fixed though. I didn't realize I had complex collision set for it. This actually doesn't need collision at all. Surface. Bueno. But let's see if I can get it to stop reacting to... Or maybe if I just have it not cast a shadow, that might do what I'm wanting. Nope, that didn't do it. So this generally happens, this flickering, when there are little strands of things like grass or something like that too close together. And you can fix it with Lumen, but it costs in performance, so I usually don't do that. So we can try setting it to not affect distance field lighting. Helps a tiny bit, but not really a whole lot. That didn't help much either. Yeah, I might have to come back and change this up a little bit. Let's try without having it visible in ray tracing. Nope. Yeah, I'll come back and fix that later on. Anyways, otherwise, it's a fantastic model. Let's get another fire out here. Oh yeah, but basically what I did here with the tent, since it's a couple of really high poly things, one of the parts I do want it to be higher poly than the rest. So I split it into multiple pieces and put it in a packed little actor, and then you can drag and drop it. I feel like it'd be dangerous having this inside of the tent, but I kind of want to do it. Actually, you know what? There's an opening right there. That makes this reasonable. We'll do it. So we'll leave it in there. I actually don't think we want to put that fire in HLODs. We can drop the light attenuation a little bit on this one. Oh, actually I can't. That's fine. No big deal. So I'll come back, just like the other one, add more things to this later on. But for now, we're going to make sure we got all the path cleared out. And then we can finally bump up the ground foliage. Oh yeah, there is one other path I haven't done yet. There it is. Oh wait. No. That's it. Didn't see it. Need to build textures. Has anyone here played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 yet? I'm wondering how excited I should be to start it. I loved the first one. Oh, really? I don't think I've seen their first map. I wouldn't really, as much as I love Redwoods, I wouldn't want to cover an entire map in Redwoods. That'd just be kind of boring from the sound of it. But I don't think they're using nanite either, so I guess they couldn't go as crazy on foliage as we have. Becky the Ghost. Yeah, back when I started environment design, I always wanted to make really dense forests, so to me, making this map is a dream. Just so many different environments with dense forests and all kinds of cool stuff. Smooth that out a little. Like I said, I don't want to make it too smooth, but I'm surprised they're still in school right now, but I guess it's different everywhere, so my kids are already out of school. Now you can just show up with ice cream or something and be like, yeah, I was late because I was getting you ice cream. Now tell me I'm amazing. They'll be like, my mom's the best. As parents, we just get better at manipulating our children. Good things only, of course, but that's right. You are the best. Don't be me. Don't talk down about yourself. But this is why I wish I could go find some fig trees in real life so I could do scans like this, because this tree is based on a scan, so kind of hard to emulate that with modeling. Luckily, my kids aren't old enough yet that I think that should be an issue, but I guess I could be wrong. But she just has, the oldest one at least, just has one of those little kids tablets, so it actually doesn't have an internet browser at all. Or you could be really cool and use OpenDNS, and there you can actually set which devices you track, and you can just see their search histories and everything they do directly from your phone or whatever else. Don't ask me how I found that out. Yo, there's probably still a little bit of foliage there that I haven't loaded. Oh, actually there's not. I'll just paint some then. I don't want to have that bare section of land. I'm kind of thinking about driving around today to go look for something cool to scan. Sometimes I just drive until I find something. I just wish I was a little closer to the coast so I could go scan the mangroves. Go. So let me just add a little foliage here real quick, and then we'll increase the ground density of the plants. And after that, it will be lunchtime for me. Though there's one or two of these plants that I don't like out here that I've removed, but not the whole map updates at the same time when I do that, so yes, it is here. So that needs to go. That one is incredibly annoying to walk around. Yeah, I think both of mine are a little too young for that too. I hope. I don't want to deal with that yet. I mean, on one hand, I guess it's good to be comfortable with those topics, but I feel like definitely shouldn't be browsing that at this age. Let's take out these. That is extremely dense. Now that's a little more normal. I am going to clamp down a little bit soon on which trees pop up on which jungle landscape materials so I can have a little more control over which ones I'm seeing. Just gonna manually remove a few of these. Because some of them will end up in the canopy of another tree, which kind of makes it pointless. Like that. And then it makes these really dark spots. want to make sure we don't have any pitch black areas, or at least not too many of them. I think some would be good because that'll make it feel realistic. But there's so many I'm removing, let's just do it this way. What's blocking the sun the most? Could remove one of these. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so that'll work for over here. So we'll just go ahead and tweak the ground foliage, and then we'll be done for the day, so I can eat some lunch. Let's see, this isn't the... Yeah, this isn't the area I want to tweak. Here we are. So this one, I feel like the tree distribution is pretty good. It's the ground foliage that needs some work. Okay, this one is just on the main landscape material. Why am I not seeing controls for this one? Have I not set that up? Oh, it's true. Oh yes, I remember I looked at this a little while back and I couldn't find a distribution I really liked. Let's see. Using RGNB for that one. R. Try with the blue channel. See if we can make that look good. Forest. It's connected. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the material, so it's still a little chaotic, but I try to keep it somewhat organized. And using splat maps like this is really nice for ground foliage distribution. That's what I'm doing. You can have a few separate channels of a texture that acts as a mask and draws the ground foliage based on the mask. But if you use a bunch of these named reroutes, that can clean it up quite a bit. Okay, so this is using the blue channel. Let's just let it compile shaders for a moment. Actually, I need to make sure that I'm doing this to the right one, now that I think about it. I get the two mixed up sometimes. Okay, yes. It is the one I thought it was. So let's make that more dense. Yeah, I have... Try that. Gonna have to play around with it for a moment and not quite enough. Might have to try a different channel and see if that does it a little better. But I'm trying to find out if this one will look more dense at a lower or a higher scale. Okay, yeah, just had to verify this was using the material I thought it was. Let's try setting it to something like 0.001. That's making it more dense in some spots and less in others. I'm guessing that's just going to get worse if I go down further. Let's see. Actually, this might work out. Just still need to make it more dense. We can end up needing float precision just for vegetation variation. Getting closer, but it's not quite there yet. I feel like at this point a different channel might work better because we're getting so small in scale it would be a little ridiculous. Set it to green. Ooh. Not bad. But we definitely need more variation. Well, that's terrible. Yeah, so that one isn't great for really dense ground coverage. Red channel then? I'm kind of curious what would happen if I use RGB. I'm guessing it would just completely cover the ground. Yeah, this looks nicer in some spots, but still not what I'm looking for. YOLO, let's see what happens with all three channels. Let's break it. Oh, that's actually not nearly as interesting as I thought it would be. In that case, we'll put it back how we had it and modify the procedural directly. This shouldn't do anything now, but I'm just gonna set it back where it was. Oh wait, wrong one. Oh yeah, it's not there anymore. Ignore me. Okay, so let's add some more actual variation. I got to actually look at which one it was using. Definitely stopped being able to organize it, or remember it all after a while. Yeah, a lot of these are just little patches for the ground. We need more than that. Some ferns, perhaps? I say yes. Let's add like 4 plants. That should have a pretty significant effect. Right now, I'm setting up the distribution of the ground foliage. But I'm glad you're excited. I just want the jungle to feel realistic. Ah, well, you caught me on a good day, because usually I stop to eat lunch by now, but I really want to get this part done before I do. Yeah, I was looking through here the other day and I saw a fern I haven't used much yet. Might be this one. Yes. Oh yes, ferns. Let's set this to foliage. Just have to set this up so that, whoops, so that the plants will be interactable. Yeah, we have to use a couple ferns. Can't just not use them. That would be rude. I actually need to make them double-sided geometry though, because all the other ones are. But for the moment, we're just gonna throw them on the landscape material to see how it looks. A couple more plants. Not that one. I'm thinking things with big leaves. What if I already made double-sided? Any of the Haran plants? Nope. We'll use a couple of those. Look at that, I already set up collisions for it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let me see what the settings are for some of the other ones. Don't remember. So 5 on density for that one. Spread, placement jitter. Let's set it to something like 20 on the density. $10,000 seems fine. Make it to like 1 to 1.2. Random number for jitter. So what I'm doing right now is just setting up different parameters about them, like how far the wind animation will work, that kind of thing. Set these to about the same for now until I can have a little more time to mess around with it. More up to 1.3. Forgot to change the scale on this one. Make that like 30-ish. Yeah, the wind effect on plants is surprisingly expensive, so... Oh my god. That's way too much. And that is why we have to check. .1 special. Now that feels a little better. I think I just need to adjust how often certain plants pop up. Because I feel like these are a little too common still. Make that like 3, 2, 1.5, 1.7, just because. It's already at 5. We could make that one a little bit more common. That one too. Generally making everything just a little bit more dense. That feels a little better to me. You'll see the plants repeating here and there, but it's less. But I think we need more actual variation. Of plants, but for now let's just modify the ones that I just added so that they have double-sided geometry just like the other ones. And then we'll be done for now. The Haran one, that's the other two I added. Definitely need to tweak the wind a little bit. It looks a little weird. I have it set up to where they interact with our weather system. So if it's raining and really windy, for example, they'll blow really rapidly and violently. So to do this, we're going to duplicate it, flip the normals, and merge them back together. So now once it's merged back together, we have to do just a really tiny value for displacement to separate the points that are merged together, just enough so it doesn't cause problems. It actually gave it 2 collisions. I might already have that set to single-sided. I do. So is this one? Yeah, this one's not drawing the other side of the leaves. But the new one is. So that's working. Then we give it a constant value that's really small, where you shouldn't notice too much. Looks like 0.05 will work fine. This is one of those weird little optimizations for nanite that works extremely well, but it's not, whoops, not common knowledge. I'll have to go back and check. It looks like it duplicates the collisions. Which wouldn't matter that much, but it would help if not all of them have 2 collisions. Now it's going to actually use those different versions. Yeah, I was just making sure I actually set it to use nanite, because that would be problematic if not. Now just a couple more and we'll be good to go. I am curious if this one even needs double-sided geometry. It might already be using it from the look of it. Actually, you know what? Ah, that's why. It has a two-sided material right now. Make that just a little bit smaller. Well, that's something to look into. And this one looks a little weird with the wind when it has double-sided geometry. Oh wait, you know what? It's still using the wrong material, that's why. Now it's good. One more. It's something we've talked about with floods, but I don't know yet if we'll be able to or not. But it's definitely something we've talked about, so we'd like to. Okay. Yeah, I was just double checking. I actually set that material. Look at that. That is much better looking. I'll still probably make it more dense, but I want a little more variety in foliage before I do that. Oh wait, did we already... No, I merged them, but I hadn't done the displacement yet. Looks like it just pretty much perfectly lined up. Then we're going to move these to double-sided right there. We can delete those duplicates. And there we are. We have them. Yes. Overall, that's much better. Definitely need a little more, though. I think some slightly taller plants in some spots, because a lot of this is really low down foliage. I think it'll make it appear a lot more dense if we have some tall ones mixed in there. So if we use this, I can make sure they're all using double-sided geometry. Yes. Yeah, if they show up as black when we're at a distance, that's what I'm looking for. Not bad. Alright. Well, we should be good to go now. We'll go ahead and stop right here. Thank you all for watching, and I will be back on Tuesday. So everyone, have a good day.